Please subscribe to Books on Toast. Otherwise, बारिश बहुत हो रही है, बहुत gloomy weather है. आपका छाता गायब हो गया तो आपको पता है कि आप कितनी मुश्किल में पड़ जाएंगे.
And welcome to the Books on Toast channel. My name is Sharin and this person here is Anuya, and we have mystery guest whom we will introduce you to shortly. But let me tell you, you are watching an episode of Casually Reading, where we talk about books that we read very casually. Anuya, on to you.
Hi everyone. We've realized that you never watch videos in which it's just me or Sharon, or if it's like some sponsor is giving us money. You don't want us to make money. You don't watch any of those videos. You just want guests. Okay, so take guest. Okay,
Guest?
very cool guest. Now take and watch. Okay. So today's Casually Reading is very special because we have with us the fabulous, the amazing Namita Dubey.
Hi guys.
It's what's really exciting about her, like you have all these influencer accounts and all these like beautiful women who post a lot of pictures, and you follow them and all of that, but Namita's account has a lot of all that, and there is, I swear to God, there are books that made me like jealous at that point. I was like, wow, how is she reading so much? Why is she reading so many essays? Why can't I be like her? And that kind of feelings I got. So I went to that Instagram and I was like, this is amazing. We must have this person on our channel. What are we doing? And here she is. So excited to have you, Namita. You must have seen her last in TVF's Aspirants, and a really good show. Love TVF. It's on YouTube, so go watch it.
Thank you,
Welcome,
guys. And I just
Namita.
must tell you that I have been following your page ever since I can remember, because I don't know, knack of finding good pages on Instagram, and I'm very particular about following, just the right kind of people. So yeah, Books on Toast has been on my list for really long. I wanted to do this, but I was a little shy to be approaching myself like, "Mujhe le lo, let's do a session or something." So I was, and that the minute I think you messaged me, and I think in an hour's time I replied that let's do this, please, let's figure a date and time. So yeah, I think I was more excited than you guys, for sure.
That never happens. Just FYI.
Special like that.
Okay, let's do this. Let's start this casually reading with Namita with a bad joke. Namita, if you swim, are you Namita Tere?
What? मुझे तैरना आता ही नहीं है, by the way. I don't know how to swim, so yeah, it's null and void.
So correct. So you've been named properly. Let's end this joke.
Sharon,
Save. You have to be the lifeguard. Come on.
Yes. Okay, guys. First, Namita, thank you for joining. Before we started recording, Namita was telling me how she reads at least 4 books a week, and I'm like, okay, that's very cool.
So I don't read 4 books in a week. That's humanly impossible. Whoever is doing that, I have massive respect for that person. I just keep switching on to books because I feel like it's fresher to like take on a new book, read something nice, and then move on to other, but not fiction. I don't switch between fictions because stories can I think sometimes I'm not a very plot driven kind of a person, कि किताबें पढ़ के मुझे plot याद रहेगा या something, character के नाम याद रहेंगे. I just know the essence and the feeling from that book. So yeah, so that's I jump onto the books because of deriving certain feelings out of it. That's what I feel. That's, I think, my game.
Okay, so in that case, what are you reading right now?
I am reading this book which is lying right next to me because I thought I can show it also. This book. So I was very intrigued by Rachel Cusk, okay, and I wanted to read this other book by her called Aftermath, which is on her dissolution of her marriage or something, right? But I don't know, somehow this book just caught my fancy, and I thought, let me order this one and start with it. And I am finding it extremely intriguing. I'm on already 100 pages in, and these are the books which I kind of like, which is, an exploration kind of book, which is आपको अपने बारे में खुद पता चलता है. The author will just put in some thoughts which you will keep like chewing on, and उसमें भी थोड़ा mystical element भी चल रहा है अभी इस किताब में. तो I am really enjoying this book, and if I enjoy a book, I'm extremely fast-paced with it. Like, I'll just try and want to finish it and then skim through it again also. So this is what I'm reading, and it's shortlisted for a Booker Prize also, I think.
Booker Prize, but I think it was the
Yes.
Orange Prize.
And
but
I
we'll
was
figure
seeing
that
it
out.
everywhere, so I just wanted to like be in the same fray and just not miss out on this, beauty. So I'm very happy to be introduced to Rachel Cusk, and I think I will talk about this book on my Instagram also very soon. Yes. What are you guys reading?
Cool.
Just
Shortlisted.
by the way.
I'll tell you what I'm reading. I'm actually listening to an audiobook. So about 2 years ago, I really heavily got into Toni Morrison. I was like, इतनी उम्र हो गई है, Toni Morrison नहीं पढ़ा है, कुछ तो पढ़ना चाहिए, अकल आनी चाहिए. So I read some 4-5 of her books at that point, and I really loved it. So this book that I'm reading, it's called the Toni Morrison Book Club. And it's essentially a bunch of 4 professors who got together and are reading her books and writing about their feelings about it. So it's an exploration of yourself, and they're all from different fringes of American society. One is gay, one is a Black woman, one is the daughter of an immigrant. So they all come from these like marginalized sections of society, and they're talking about what these books of Toni Morrison represent to them. And I'll be honest, like I walked into this book with a lot of like why do I need to know this as an Indian person? Why do I really care about the American lived experience? इससे मेरा क्या उखड़ेगा जिंदगी में? And I honestly went into it because it's sometimes, when you read books that you really like, you want to know what other people thought of it. So I literally walked into listening to this audiobook from that perspective. But oh my God, like, this is when life just gives you a gentle slap on the face. Ke bhai, akal karo kuch, because this is such, like, they really talk about their own experiences, about how they have lived their lives, and, like the casual racism that they face on a day-to-day basis. And then they keep relating it back to Toni Morrison's books that they have read. So I feel like a lot of these books, though we may reject them thinking that what does it have to do about me and it's an Indian person, they really give you perspective about certain personal truths which are universal. So, and I'm loving the fact that it's an audio book, and like I can hear that experience. So I'm listening to it on Storytel, which I think it's amazing. So yeah.
I read Toni Morrison in college. I was doing bachelor's in literature in Delhi University. So Toni Morrison's book called Beloved was a part of our curriculum in 3rd year. Extremely moving, extremely disturbing. But yeah, I think उस time पे भी हम लोग का reason to read a Toni Morrison was to just inculcate the sense of empathy also. Once you read these universal experiences, I think उसकी analogy हम draw करके India में भी हर जगह पे भी कर ही सकते हैं. I'm sure these experiences are not like insulated experiences. They are like something that all of us can feel and relate to, and maybe develop this empathy also for people who are going through.
Y'all are both better people than I. I could not read.
Because you found it. So did you read Educated by Tara Westover? Don't read that then.
No, is that good?
Read it, Sharin. I'm telling you, my sister also got me Educated, saying कि बहुत अच्छी किताब है, and she said when I started reading, I was like, it's getting really bad. It's very, very heartbreaking. She's like, no, it'll get better, but before that, it'll get worse. So I said, better part कब आएगा इसमें? Then she was like, end में. And I said, fooled me, because I've read this entire book and I was looking for that, that one glimmer of hope, but it came too late. Yeah. But everybody loves that book also. So and even Beloved and Toni Morrison की सारी किताबें बहुत ही ज़्यादा acclaimed और सब लोग पढ़ते हैं उसको. So
she won a Nobel, so I mean, of course it is.
Nobel woman also, yes. So yes.
Sharin.
Sorry.
My job, Sharin.
I'm just wondering, Sharin's headspace is so cute. Like she's reading Toni Morrison and she's a noble woman. Yeah, right.
That is Books on Toast in a nutshell for you, actually. I'm reading the new Anti-Weir book, and I'm like almost like 2/3 in, and it's very hard sci-fi, but I like 30% of the book is like, but I just assume it's all correct, and it's a lot of fun. So Project Andy Weir is the writer of science fiction for people who don't read science fiction. So he makes it very accessible. You will not understand the science, but that's okay. You don't need to. You'll still get all the conclusions as long as you understand and you understand how the plot moves ahead, that's enough for you. So
Okay.
this is about basically the sun is dimming sometime in the future. The sun is dimming because of an alien microorganism species which is feeding on the heat as an energy source. So because of that, there is an impending ice age. So then there is a team of scientists that's put together that goes to another solar system because they realize that every planet in that solar system is being also used as an energy source except for their sun. They are building the spaceship and there is this hero. So it is in flashback because the hero has already reached where he's supposed to reach. And the rest of it is like him telling the story of how he came about here and also what's happening there, how while he's trying to unearth answers. And because it's Andy Weir, you must have
Yes,
seen The
that's
Martian.
interesting.
So yeah, so he writes with this sense of humor
Yeah.
that's very like true to him. So I've actually laughed out loud a lot reading this book. It's really, really fun science fiction.
Good
So
recommendation also I've got from
very good
science
book.
fiction because I've not picked up science fiction or a mystery book since years now.
I think then you should read Martian because Martian was
Martian is
कोई
simple
फिल्म का
book.
जो
Yeah.
book
superb. Yeah,
वो
yeah.
वो है अच्छा.
So now, Namita, I have to ask you. Sharon and I read to escape. Sharon reads, I don't know why.
I don't know why either. I just read its habit. It's
Yeah,
too
like I
quick.
always, she reads non-fiction essays, everything, whereas I read purely fiction because for me, the reason to read is very, very straightforward. I do it to escape. I
Yeah.
want stories. I want new worlds. I don't want to ponder endlessly on the human condition. It is, in one line, it is 30.
Yeah.
So why waste time, right? So, so I read fun and engrossing fiction. So why do you read? What is it about books that?
Yeah, मुझे एक तो कभी कभी see I find a lot of fulfillment, like sensory fulfillment. I'm not even kidding. It's like कि कुछ तो senses कुछ stimulate होती है. And it's not an imposition on me कि कोई बोल रहा है कि तुम्हें किताबें पढ़नी है. ठीक है, कॉलेज तक ठीक था. It was kind of, something that you have to do और बहुत ही laborious काम है कि किताबें पढ़े. But मेरे लिए it was something very, very organic. And I now find कि अभी इंसान की जो thoughts है, like I know that you read to typically escape, but for me I'm more like, how do I evolve my thoughts? What are the domain of thoughts that I have currently, and how can I go from point A to point something else? Because what typically changes a person's are conversations, are dialogues, are like stories or experiences, and that all we get in a very condensed form while we are reading. So I'm like, how can I not make use of this opportunity? तो इसलिए मुझे बहुत natural ये चीज लगती है. That's why maybe I read and enjoy non-fiction and experiences and explorations. That's one of my favorite genre की ये चीज मुझे पढ़नी ही पढ़नी है. और fiction से obviously it stirs your imagination so much, and I need it. I'm an actor also. I was telling Sharon before this कि it's a first world problem for people who are like not reading, who have the privilege of not choosing to read and just go on with their lives. It's a first world kind of a privilege. वरना तो किताबें access हो तो फिर मतलब everybody should and could, then they I would feel that everybody should have access and सबको पढ़ना चाहिए, but लोगों के पास access होता है वो फिर भी नहीं पढ़ते. तो I'm like, what a missed opportunity. Yeah.
Namita, did you grow up reading a lot? Like, is this a बचपन की आदत जो अभी set in
हाँ,
stone
मतलब
हो गई
क्लास
है?
8-9 से पढ़ना शुरू कर दिया था मैंने. और मेरे घर पे मेरे डैड बहुत पढ़ते थे किताबें. He was a big James Hadley Chase, Agatha Christie, Jeffrey Archer, and all classics were in my house, and I've always seen him reading. So I think it's in my blood also somewhere. And my grandfather and my grandmother both were very academically inclined. So both were from Allahabad University, very, very well read. And they were in the 80s and 90s, and every day they used to read for 2 hours. I'm not, and see, nobody has to force you for these things, right? Why would you want to read when you are 80? What are the wisdom that you will find from those? But you do it because I don't know, it's something that's typically, it engages your mind or whatever. But so I've seen that maybe also. And obviously initially मैं भी escapism ही ढूंढ रही थी किताबों में, क्योंकि I was a very underconfident kid who could not speak her mind and who could not say things or participate in extracurricular activities. तो मैं बस किताबें पढ़ के अपने corner में रहती थी. And then, you know, I started participating. My teacher used to send me for inter-school writing competition. Then I started winning that. So I was like, ये तो अच्छी चीजें हो रही है पढ़ने के साथ. तो फिर आदत ही बन गई. उसके बाद फिर I took up English literature only in bachelor's, and that consolidated my just kind of love for it. So yeah.
Very nicely you've sort of condensed your entire life as a reader. So such a nice thought out answer. Good job. So then, do you recall the first book that you
very
ever
vividly, and I'm just so, मुझे लगता है कि मैं क्या पागल हूँ. मुझे इतनी क्लियरली कैसे याद है वो एक रात, and I'm not making it up. I'm not making it up. It was raining. I was watching Boogie Woogie, and I got bored. कि Boogie Woogie देख रही हूँ, थोड़ा बुखार आ रहा था मुझे. I went back to my room. वहां पे किताब पढ़ी हुई थी अगाथा क्रिस्टी की, like I told you, my dad used to read. So this book line called Man in the Brown Suit. That was the first book I literally picked up, and it was in tatters. Literally, the pages were very like frail, you know, coming out. But I had opened one passage and I read. I was like, "अच्छी लग रही है, चलो time pass." And then I was 25 pages down. I was like, I liked it, and then I finished it in 4-5 days. मुझे लगा कि तो बड़ी अच्छी है. And then my relative gifted me a PG Woodhouse. So that started some other, you know, कैरी ऑन जीव्स करके जो किताब थी जीव्स वाले उसकी, वो दे दी थी. तो रक्षाबंधन गिफ्ट था. These were my first 2 books, and that set the, and after that I started kind of devouring all my dad's books which were lying at home, like James Hadley Chase, and mystery मुझे बड़ा अच्छा लगता था. जेफरी आर्चर की लॉयर फोर्थ एस्टेट, ये सब पढ़ने लग गई थी मैं. किलिंग टू किल अ मॉकिंगबर्ड भी पढ़ ली थी मैंने, बट उस टाइम समझी नहीं थी मैंने, बट पढ़ ली थी. So this was my start, and I also used to read a lot of sports editorial and Bollywood magazines like Cineblitz, Filmfare. ये भी reading है, okay? ये है, please. Not disqualified, because I was so interested in what's happening in Bollywood and the cricket world कि मतलब I'm telling you, it started something in me.
It's fine, yeah. Read. I wish people read anything more, be it Bollywood or cricket, and I hope eventually everybody gifts books as Raksha Bandhan gifts. Now, Namita, clearly since then you've read a lot and read a lot of various genres. Is there a book that you can't stop reading over and over again?
I don't reread books, to be honest. Once I'm done with the book. But I have, I don't know if it's a good habit, but I keep underlining what I like in a book. So once the book is over, then I do like skim through it, like literally smell the book and open the pages which I have very brutally dog-eared ऐसे करके उसको खोलती हूँ मैं, पढ़ती हूँ, and I know what are the things which touch me, and they will continue, like, you know, they are the same things which will move me time and again. So I know that. So I just skim through even if it's a dense book, I will just want to skim through the important parts. I'll not reread a book. That has not happened. No.
Are you not a Kindle reader?
Smell, sensory.
Sensory fulfillment नहीं होगी मैडम की.
किताबों की स्मेल बहुत अच्छी होती
है. I am.
बहुत लोगों ने बोला है कि Kindle इकोनॉमिकल ऑप्शन है, और you know, पता नहीं, बट मुझे पेजेस टर्न करने ही है, मुझे ऐसे अंडरलाइन करना ही है, और ये सब करना ही है बैठ के.
So I used to feel that way till I got a Kindle, and now it's effort to read a book.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I just prefer reading on my Kindle so much because it's so compact and light, and I can buy anything and I can read 3 books at a time, but they're always with me. It's not a burden. I can read in the dark. I can read in an auto. It changed my life. So now I'm just very pro Kindle. Yeah, extremely.
I think Kindle, I mean, same for me as well. I mean, I resisted audiobooks and Kindle for longest time because I was like, "Arey, ye kya hai? Yeah, technology here also, I can't deal with it." But there is something to say about, especially like audiobooks, especially if you're on the move and you can't really like read sometimes because it's difficult, right? So
not everyone can.
That's a good like break. And also sometimes the narrator's voice, right? Like in certain names, especially like a lot of British voices, they really like do, like they play on.
They are like ASMR.
Yeah.
Low.
So ASMR is a total.
Yeah, I get it.
Okay. So the next question I wanted to ask you is that what is the last book that you read that really made you weep after you finished?
None. I have not wept in ages for a book. I'm telling you, Educated, when I read it, just like rattled my heart a bit. I was like, "Ye kya ho raha hai?" I was cringing and I was like, oh, so much pain and like this. It's just too harrowing. I was just like, yeah, that happened. But I'll tell you, the one book that I might have shed a tear or two was back in school. I read The Kite Runner. So yeah, at that time,
Oh,
for you,
wow.
1,000 times over. I was like, Roller like,
Yeah.
that's it. That's it. I can't remember, not in recent times or in the last 5 years, ever crying.
Also, another book that made us both cry is Home Fire by
Fancy
Kamila
hai?
Shamsi.
Oh,
Both of us
तो
cried.
guaranteed waterworks hai.
Yeah. Home Fire, it's called. Yeah. We've spoken about it too much.
Really
I'm
मैंने
not
एक
going to
और
get into
किताब के
it.
बारे में सुना है
Yeah.
जो
But
मैं
बहुत
कतरा रही हूँ पढ़ने से. उसका नाम है लिटिल लाइफ.
Oh, हाँ, मैंने अभी खत्म की.
Hanya, Yanagihara, somebody. You
Yeah.
think it's something because people are
Yeah.
bawling after reading it and are crying, and what is happening with it?
It's like Educated, but happy things
Okay.
happen first.
Okay. So I will also try and I don't know. I don't know if I should be reading those books right now.
No. Just do Book Thief. Book Thief is best of all these
Book
three.
Thief is that kind of book which is like that
Sorry,
bachpan
heart chicken
ki
soup.
kahani. It's like
Yeah.
It's like
Nazi Germany, books, a little
it's not
girl.
like really heartbreaking. It's just like it's emotional. That's what it is. But Home Fire is downright emotional. Like it'll just make you cry. Like, wow.
Yeah.
Do you
Very
recommend books
sad.
which make people cry? Do you think it's right to do that, or do you give a trigger warning?
Yes. Why not? Yes. We are very emotionally manipulative people. Yes.
Yeah, we love crying.
Yes. Guys, if you have any book that you think will make Namita cry, please tell us in the comment
Really not
section.
going to read. I'm
Let's
not going to
make her
read this
cry.
book, but yes,
That's
thanks.
So, Namita, now that we have clarified the mission for this video, let's go to our next question, which is, what are the 3 best books you've read this year? This is for me. I need to know what to pick up next. So,
Okay, so I just finished reading In Other Words by Jhumpa Lahiri, जिसके बारे में मैंने अपने Instagram पे. You read it? इतनी प्यारी किताब है यार. I just don't have any. I was like, why did this finish so soon? I was actually looking forward every night to reading it before going to bed, because just her very pure relationship with learning a language, and it's a non-fiction read, so I was all like, yeah, sold. And I don't know if I can say a lot about what the book is about. I think people should read it and just feel it, no? In other words, and I think Anuya, I think you can also read it, because उसमें कुछ ऐसा उसमें बहुत कुछ हो रहा है और कुछ नहीं भी हो रहा है, मुझे ऐसा लगता है. Then I read then again I read this book which is on rape culture, not a light read. It's curated by Roxanne Gay, who's written Hunger and Bad Feminist. तो वो मैंने नहीं पढ़ी है अभी, and I was wanting to read those books. They were not available on Amazon a few days back, but this somebody gifted to me. It's called Not That Bad. और इसमें ना बहुत सारे essays है, experiences के, of people who've gone through, obviously this will come with the trigger warning, who've gone through assault or any kind of violence or casual sexism, or just like any kind of these experiences, and how we have all made rape culture to be a certain way, which has just permeated in our society.
There's a book called Know My Name by Chanel Miller. She's the girl from the Stanford assault case, the sexual assault case. The Brock, what's his name? Brock something, who went to 3 months in jail. He got 6 months in jail. So she she came out as the victim, and she wrote this memoir, which is basically chronicles her whole story, from the assault to what she went through while trying to get justice. So what the system put her through, what it was like to have her life sort of splashed all over the pages of newspapers the world over, and what the process was like, what it's like to get a rape kit, for example, like what they do. And it is wonderfully written. So it's very, I mean, I was amazed that by the writing, because she's not a writer by profession. Yeah. I mean, her writing was right there. Like it was literary level of writing. And I read about 50% of that book and I just couldn't
Yeah.
because it was relentless. Because it just makes you feel so awful. I had to give up because I didn't. एक तो pandemic चल रहा है, तो
Oh.
नहीं पढ़ना ऐसा मेरे को. I'll read
Oh.
Hail Mary. I'll read. इसमें
Yeah.
jokes है.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
मेरे को नहीं पढ़ना.
Yeah. And एक और किताब जो मैंने पढ़ी लास्ट, वो है, एक पीछे रखी हुई है एक्चुअली, डेली रिचुअल्स करके है, मेसन करी की किताब है. एंड दिस इज ऑन विमेन आर्टिस्ट. तो बहुत सारी विमेन आर्टिस्ट ओवर द इयर्स, राइटर्स, डांसर्स, पेंटर्स, उनका दिन भर का रूटीन या उनका पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू ऑन लाइफ और आर्ट, और यू नो इट इज ऑन दैट. और मुझे तो I don't know who will find this book interesting, honestly speaking, but क्योंकि मैं इन्हीं चीजों पे थ्राइव करती हूँ, मुझे तो बहुत अच्छा लगा ये बुक पढ़ के. उसमें बहुत आर्टिस्ट है, फ्रॉम जेडी स्मिथ टू एमिली डिकिंसन एंड टू लाइक से सूजन सॉन्टैग, टू लाइक उन सब के ना छोटे छोटे एक दो पेजेस के articles है on they just like the point of view on maybe life or what the relationships were, और उनका art पे क्या नजरिया था. तो I found it very very nice, this book Daily Rituals, and I've talked about it also like on my Instagram, and I've told people about it. Some people ended up picking up that book and they told me that they like it. Typically those who are in creative fields might like find some like wisdom from that. Yeah.
That sounds fascinating. There's a book called The Artist's Way by Julia
I have
Cameron,
to.
which also
I
came
have
out
heard
this
about
year.
this book. I'm writing everything.
Yeah. So that's another book that's similar. It doesn't have like real life accounts like you're saying of famous women who are artists, but what she's done is she's given you like a little bit of a handbook. Sometimes what happens is for a lot of people who are artistically inclined or creatively inclined, it's very difficult for them to get into a
Correct.
routine because we feel like the routine is the villain to creativity, right?
Daily
That's what we
Rituals is
think.
exactly on the same lines. You know, some people were like absolutely they couldn't conform to any kind of timings, and some people were very meticulous कि मुझे 8 बजे ये कॉफी पी के ये खा के ये पढ़ना है ये करना है. तो that's the kind of I don't know, I find it very fascinating कि अच्छा वर्जीनिया वुल्फ इतने बजे लिखती थी और ये इतने बजे, इनका आउटपुट तो दोनों का इतना बढ़िया रहे, तो फिर क्या है मतलब, what is it? There is no algorithm.
One book that's on your TBR list that you can't wait to read, Namita.
अब मैं एक किताब के बारे में बहुत दिनों से सुन रही हूँ, वो है अली स्मिथ ऑटम. I don't know, I've just read, there are certain books which naturally call out to you कि ये मुझे दिख रही है, क्या करे. तो उनमें से एक ये मुझे बार बार दिख रही है.
So it's all reactive fiction to Brexit, actually. So she's created like these stories of different relationships and how Brexit is going to impact lives. And of course, she wrote it before Brexit actually happened. So it's interesting.
And दूसरी एक झुम्पा लहरी की, क्योंकि मुझे इन अदर वर्ड्स इतनी पसंद आई, तो एक लोलैंड पड़ी हुई है मेरे पास already. I have the copy, and Whereabouts, the 2 books. I can't finish.
Whereabouts is, oh my god, beautiful. If you love in other words, you will be like, oh my god, Whereabouts is just gorgeous. It's about a single woman and her experience in Italy. I could not stop reading it. I thought just like, when you are like, when you've overeaten and you still want to keep eating, it's that kind of, you just like, give it to me now.
Yeah, I'm telling you, this is doing something to me. I might be ordering this book today. But yeah, Whereabouts also on my TBR. You guys are very voracious readers. सब कुछ पता है, सारी किताबें पता है, क्या हो रहा है ये?
She hasn't met Vivek.
Oh God, I follow him on Instagram. I'm in love with him, and I see his book mail thing every day, and I'm like, shut up. Not one.
He's read like 100 books this year. You know how many I have read? 14.
Oh.
1 second. I'll tell you also.
My God, I don't want to have this conversation.
Yeah, he's 100 books. Like, matlab 100k, 200. I don't even,
very inspiring. I don't know how I found him on Instagram. I told you I find the right people. I found him on Instagram and I was like, yaar, ye kuch to hai. And then I think we did there was some live session that we were doing together for movie quiz on a platform on YouTube. I met him there and I told him,
Ah.
listen, I am a fan. And he was so nonchalant about it. I was like, but you are amazing.
Okay, so
All
in
right.
the spirit of book recommendations, is there anything on your tubber that you want to talk about, Anuya?
Mine?
Huh?
Yeah, of course, always. So,
Our tubber is always longer than regular.
so this book was sent to me by my favorite publisher, which is
This book?
HarperCollins. And it's called The Illuminated by Anindita Ghose. And it's an Indian author's debut novel. She's a journalist who writes a lot for Mint Lounge and Vogue India.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
you may
I
have
think I
heard her
follow on
name.
Twitter.
She wrote a book, and it has Andre Asiman and Shanta Gokhale and all giving quotes. So I trust them to
called The
recommend a
Illuminated.
good book. It's called The
Hmm.
Illuminated. It's about two women,
Mother-daughter.
Shashi and Tara. So as soon as I finish this Hail Mary, Project Hail Mary, I'm going to read this novel. It's the next book on my reading list. And uske baad dekhenge.
Okay, nice. And what about you, Sharin?
That's on my cover. What about you?
I have been actually trying to read this all year long, but for some reason I keep putting it back. It's called The World Beneath Their Feet. I think the reason I put it down is because it seems like a unlikely task I will do. But basically, this is historical non-fiction, and it's all about political intrigue and all that nonsense, which I love. So it's story, yeah. So it's basically. So in the 1930s, the Britishers, Nazi Germany, and the Americans had like a pre-Cold War, okay, amongst themselves, like who will climb Everest first. So basically, it's all about that, right? Like how so many expeditions go wrong and how they try to like intercept intelligence and like try to figure out who's doing what and all that jazz. So it's like an epic, and a lot of it is about them actually like expeditions actually scaling the mountain and things going wrong. So the problem, I'll tell you why I haven't been able to like finish it, because I have a lot of like bone injuries and ligament tears, etc. Okay, so when I read all of that, I feel like, oh, I feel it. So I'm like, nay, this pain cannot deal. Sorry, too much sensory stuff happening, not good.
You should read Ken Follett's Century Trilogy. I must know. I have.
That is if you are like World War III kubol.
It's the
World War
easiest,
II.
most popcorn
Yeah.
historical fiction in the world. So entertaining, absolutely
Century.
unputdownable. You finish it in no time. You'll be like, "Arey, khatam ho gaya." Like
Acha.
it's like that. One of those books. You won't be able to
I
stop
hope,
reading.
because sometimes the size of the book does intimidate me.
तभी तो you should read on Kindle. पता ही नहीं चलता है size क्या है.
ये reason मैंने
you
नहीं
were
सोचा
just
था.
what? The book was 600 pages. I didn't even realize it.
Right? I think,
Yeah.
that's a bias in my head against like big books कि नहीं पढ़ पाऊंगी, नहीं खत्म कर पाऊंगी. Kindle से बच सकता है.
It goes away. You have no idea how big the book is. It just tells you percentage of how much you finished. So, I mean, you don't sit and calculate, oh, by that logic, this much time. Nothing. You just keep reading. And by the time you're done, and then you see the book in the bookstore, and I'm like, oh my God, I finished this.
2-3 times.
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
Perfect.
Yeah. Okay, Namita, ready? Okay, so this is our most fun question. But you are throwing a dinner party at home and you are allowed to call only 3 authors. Okay, they can be dead or alive. It's a fantasy party. Nobody cares if they're dead or alive. Who would you call?
Listen, yeah. Too many of them. First, tell me what are your answers. I would want to get a little insight into what you guys.
Now I would call Madeline Miller because I am obsessed with her.
Sylvia Plath होगी.
Oh.
Look, उस party में शायद now.
I'll be very nervous, yeah.
But that's what I want to.
I'll be like, oh no.
I'm telling you, I want to just because there's something about her that I would find I think I would want to know her. Huh?
I'd call Alan Moore. Alan Moore I'd call. Yeah, he's famously grumpy. So, of course, we should have him at a dinner party.
One person at a dinner party is necessary. They could be Sylvia Plath and Alan Moore. Okay, that's very मतलब इसमें अभी कोई कॉमेडी राइटर चाहिए in the mix.
हाँ, Dave Barry and Bill Bryson or Dave Barry, क्या मजा आएगा.
Bill Bryson though will make both of them very angry, I feel.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I am in this jungle.
Yeah.
Who
I
else,
think
Namita? Who
this
else?
party would be getting over too soon if these are the three people who are coming. No, but I would also want to call somebody like Khalil Gibran. Yeah, listen, yeah, come on. I think कुछ interesting बातें होंगी, प्यार, relationships, and suffering and all that. I don't know. Maybe I'm finding it. I think my party would be too morbid. बातें हो रही है ऐसी एकदम.
No.
People are zoning out and like, but I like that. So, and I think I'm also somewhere like a sapiosexual. So I find it extremely attractive when there are people who are talking about things which are beyond my understanding. So I would want that to keep happening in front of me. I'll just be like a mute spectator there. Third person, yeah, I'm women writers. I'm extremely. I just have some. Abhi meri staple ban chuki hai women writers. So I have not read Joanne Didion. Okay, but I saw her documentary on Netflix, which is called The Center Will Not Hold. There is a documentary which has some archival kind of footage of her, and then she's also talking. So these are the people I think ये आपका कुछ बदलेंगे दिमाग में कुछ तो. There will not be just frivolous conversations. There will be something which is more, it will be something just very deep and profound. I think that one night will only change me forever.
I would love to have had been in a dinner party with Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett. I know that they were great friends and they basically... Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett were like fast friends and they would finish each other's sentences and they would create characters.
I love this
just sitting across
and repartee happening between two people. I
will go crazy. I'll be like, oh, now what will happen? Now what will happen? It'll be like watching a book come alive in front of you.
That would have been great. That would have been like a riot, like watching
two masters at each other.
I would live for that, I'm telling you, it stimulates me to some other level. I can be quiet and just look at two people talk. That's what and people who are like, all the names that we mentioned, agar ye aa gaye, to fir I would rather stay quiet and be like, क्या चाहिए आपको सर मैं बस आपके कदमों पे बस थोड़ी देर के लिए बैठना चाहती हूँ. That's
Sharin and I have been fortunate enough to meet a bunch of writers and it's always been a very rewarding experience. Like
I'm always fascinated by how like silly and funny they are as real people. We always think that they will say something and flowers will fall out of their mouths. Like, something is going to happen and they're so...
But the one thing I will say that even if it is an author who's written the worst book I have ever read, that person always brings something to the table that I haven't thought of. Which is what, there is always a point of view, a perspective, a story that I haven't thought of. And I'm like, if you've published a book, no matter how bad it is,
you made it. I'm telling you, I'm an actor, but if I have my way, I would want to hang with writers more than actors. Actors are very bland. They have nothing. Some of them are incredibly, what to say. But I'm telling you, I don't hang with actors as much. I would want to hang with writers. And if I find writers and there is something which is atypical in them, which is something like, I don't know if sometimes it's a very thankless kind of a non-rewarding job for somebody to write. Obviously, it's very fulfilling for them, but sometimes that, write piece or whatever you've written might not see the light of the day ever for anybody to read. So मुझे लगता है कि ये कर रहे हैं फिर भी लिख रहे हैं तो something is obviously उनका दिमाग की wiring अलग है कुछ.
And the best thing about authors is all of them have a lot of imposter syndrome to deal with. So they're very humble. Very like, अरे मेरा कितना पसंद है.
अरे who was that guy who said he wanted to be a DJ or that year he was going to...
Irvin Welsh. Irvin Welsh, Train Spotting, the guy who wrote Train Spotting.
He's like, this year I'm DJ.
He's like, this year I've been DJing. I was like, what? And then I was like, come DJ at my wedding. He's like, yeah, I'll do it. It was
people like, this is some alternate universe mein ghus gaye hum.
Oh yeah, I'm salivating at the thought of you guys living and doing this.
See, next JLF, you come with us. We'll have a blast together. Vivek will be there to make us all feel inferior. It'll be perfect.
Yes, that's
No,
that also.
I'm okay with that. But I want to go. That's for sure.
Okay, awesome. Namita, this was great. I felt like I was talking to a friend in my living room.
BFFs. Please keep sending me. BFFs are supposed to send books. I'll send you my postal address. You send me books. I'll send you books. ये बस मुझे बस लाइफ टाइम सप्लाई चाहिए किताबों का. कोई भी किताब पढ़ी हो कौन.
You heard her. I lost you, Namita. What?
Oh,
This internet.
I send you books. Okay, fine.
Don't worry, I will
That's
send.
the friendship then.
No, we'll send you. We love sending books. We'll send you books. Okay, on that note, Sharin, would you like to wrap up?
Yes, thank you so much, Namita, for giving us your afternoon and talking to us about books. It has been a really fun experience to get to know you as a reader. That's
Thank you guys.
amazing.
I had so much fun. My light was going all over the place because it was sunny and cloudy and sunny and cloudy. And it's cloudy again as we speak. But yeah, other than that, the conversation was so engrossing for me that I didn't. Abhi pata chal raha hai ki arey shit. I'm in my living room. I want to go to JLF now with you guys. COVID ke baad haan ab chalenge, but and if there are any kind of hang-ups, I'm saying, not hang-ups, hangouts and all happening in Mumbai or wherever, please मुझे भी अपने कुछ list में डाल देना ऐसे. I will come and just have a freewheeling chat with you guys.
Absolutely done.
For sure.
Yeah. Okay, everyone who's watching this video, thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, please share this video with your friends. It's also an excellent guide on what to read next and or how to get into the habit of reading. You have to subscribe to the Books on Toast channel.
Non-negotiable.
It's not an option, so please subscribe to the Books on Toast. Yeah, it's non-negotiable. Please subscribe to the Books on Toast channel. And if there are any books that you thought of while we were discussing these books and you want to share those recommendations with us, you know we have a very active comment section, right? So use that. And that's it. Keep reading and wear a mask when you go out because COVID is not gone anywhere, you know. And get vaccinated. What are you waiting for?
I am fully vaccinated on that note. Sorry.
All the books that we've discussed today, whether physical books or Kindle books or audiobooks, they're all in our description box below. So just go there and click on them if you want to buy them or listen to them or whatever you want to do. I don't judge.
Crazy mother.